What's going on, world? It's your boy, Patrick Young, here again with the podcast, The Young and the Rowdies. Thank you guys so much for joining me at this time. This has been a fantastic journey. Love seeing the reviews, love being able to introduce you and reintroduce you to former Gators, former players, former coaches, current players and coaches as well, getting a chance to dive into their stories. Before moving forward, going to this next episode that I'm so excited to get into, please continue to share this podcast. You can find it on Apple or Spotify, wherever you're listening, as well as subscribing to the Field of 68 Media Network. We're trying to continue to build our brand and get this thing out, especially as March Madness is coming up. Excited for the next couple of guests that we're going to have, some current guys. Before we move forward, I want to leave you guys with a quote. You can't have happiness. You can only be happy. You can only be happy. Instead of focusing on what you have and don't have, focus on what you can be, what you can control. Anyways, as we're getting into this next episode, I want you to, if you know the answer to this trivia question, who is the winningest Gator basketball player of all time? He was on the 06 and 07 back-to-back national championship teams. I'm really excited for this episode. We got to dive into a lot, his journey from home to his now illustrious professional career. Without further ado, let's get into the episode. I'm so excited for our our extremely talented, extremely well-known Gator great, the one and only Walter Hodge. What's going on, Brody? How you doing, man?
And I'm doing great, man. Down here in Puerto Rico right now, playing this third window for the FIBA qualifications. So I'm, very excited to be on your show and trying to talk about myself.
Yeah, man. It's an honor to get to connect with you. It'd be so hard to connect with dudes sometimes because I'm chasing them around. You have got to be the easiest guy that was just like, yo, you trying to get on? You like, yeah, when? Thursday. This Thursday? Cool, bet. just like that, man. I mean, it helps that our time zones are pretty close as well. I was trying to chase down Vernon Macklin and Kenny Boyd, and them guys are over in Japan and in China, so that was kind of tough. But yeah, again, thank you for getting on. So how you been? What's going on with the ladies?
Man, everything good, man. Everything good. Playing out in Egypt this season. Just grinding it out. Happy with my two kids. I have a daughter. She's 14 years old, and a baby boy is 11. So now they grown ups. They're in school right now, and just having fun and enjoying life.
How did you and the family adjust to everything? 2020, COVID, coming into this season. How did you adjust with all that stuff?
Man, it was tough. It was tough because when everything started, I was in Italy, and I was coming back home. So I got out at the last minute. So I stayed home for like 10 days, before I do the test, so I can see the kids. And I was home for 11 months. I mean, for me, it was great because I didn't have a time to spend with the kids for the last 7-8. So declined these 7-8 years. I was like, playing the whole time nonstop. So this 11 month was perfect. I enjoyed the kids. I can go to school. School was going still, for a little bit here until it got worse. But I had the chance just to stay with the family. Whole family, cousins. Grandma. I miss that. I miss all the birthdays. I miss everything. So this year, I enjoy everything. Even though it was a bad situation for the world, but for me, it was it was really cool.
What were some things that you and the family did? Like, obviously, yeah, that's uncharted territory, and everyone at that time was like, dang, I can't go to the gym, I can't do this, I can't do that, I got to find something to do to occupy this time. What were some things you and the family decided to do just to enjoy each other and keep time passing by?
But I bought a bunch of games, like Jenga, Uno. I live close to the beach, like literally the beach is behind, and all the beach was closed, like you couldn't go out. So behind my apartments, it was private, so I was going almost every day. Like
Yeah, you got
I
to.
didn't care about anything. So almost every day I was going. So that was something that I spent more time with my kids.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So
So what year is this for you? So you finished up in 09 and you've been bouncing all around as a professional, tell people like where you've been, the teams you play for and all that stuff.
So I started my career with the national team, the Virgin Islands national team. That was my first professional, experience in FIBA. Then I started my professional career in Puerto Rico, my hometown. And then after that, I went to Poland. I was in Poland for 3 years. It was like one of the best experiences I ever had. I went for a team that came from the second division to the first division. I stayed there for 3 years, and in 3 years we won the championship.
Wow.
So it was something big. It was something that like a lot of teams in Poland was grinding to win championship for like 10, 12 years because one team always win. You know how it is in Europe.
Man.
And for me to be part of that, it was very special. I think I started my career there, and I want to end it there.
Right.
So. And then after that, I moved to Spain. I played 1 year in Spain in Caja Laboral. After that, I went to Russia, Zenit. And then after that, I was 1 year there. It was pretty cool too.
Cold.
Nice.
Had to be cold.
Crazy cold. It was tough for the family. I want to go back really, but it was too much for the family, to handle. And then after that, I went to Italy. I played in Italy for here in Cantu. Then after that, I went to Asvel with Tony Parker.
Yep.
And it was a place that I really like it, but the league is different, And after that was like I'm trying something new. I went to Lebanon for 2 years, 3 years, and that's one of the places that I love. Like I love Lebanon. Situation is very bad now with the COVID and the situation with the country. But that was one of the places that I'd be like, I can retire from here, And I was planning to do that, But now I play in Egypt. I play a little bit in Saudi Arabia, but now I'm in Egypt, in the club Zamalek.
Hey, we'll get back to your professional career after we talk about just the beginning. Because I definitely want to get into, I know you got some great stories of, transitioning over, especially, with your family and all, but let's go back to the beginning. So what first started your love for basketball? How did that start for you?
Man, I think my dad used to play professional basketball in Puerto Rico. And, stories that my mom used to tell me was like, I was 2 years old. My dad come home, and I wake up at 2 a.m. like, yo, let's play, like I was, so I guess like I had it since I got that energy since I was young. And when I was 4, my dad, put me in this place, and I started, trying to dribble the ball and trying to get the skills. And after that was like, crazy. I used to wear my dad tights, like big, big ass. So like I was crazy about basketball. Everything was the basketball. I talk about basketball every time. So I started playing, in the little leagues here in Puerto Rico. And I think when I was 8 years old or 9, I took it more serious. Like I was like, I want to live from this. And for me, I got the experience to go to practice with my dad and see how professional practice. I used to like, dribble with them and do stuff with them during practice or after practice. So I was always in the gym, I always was in. And then, I got the chance to be coached by my dad, So, he gave me all the skills and defensive, like I was a defensive minor, but I can score. It was not
for sure.
Or, so I was in the Jordan Pro every day at home. So all day I didn't play PlayStation. I didn't play, Super Nintendo. I was outside playing the whole time,
That's the huge difference from this day and age now, man.
They soft, man. It's all day though.
Yeah, I know, right? It was funny, man. I got this escape room that I just opened up here in Jacksonville, and it was some kids that just came in last night. And even though there's strangers that come in, so our goal is like it's we call it our home, so we try to make them feel welcome, like just try to get the conversation before we get to the game and stuff. Them going to, it's like they don't even know how to like interact and have a conversation, because I'm like, yo man, what's going on? You from Jacksonville? Like he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
no, like can't look me in the eyes. I'm like, I don't even know if like does he think that I'm weird that I'm trying to have a conversation with him in person? Like
Look,
the video games, man.
with like for me, like when I was in college, I didn't speak English like that. Like I'm still, I don't speak perfect English. And for me, it was like the way I learned how to talk, and to, it was because of Coach Donovan, like the way he talked to us, and the way he tell us not to say something wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing, and I use that until this day. Like that's the way I talk in interviews and stuff. Is the way he teaches us how to compliment your teammates and stuff like that. So for me, it was like that time when I was in college, and of course in high school, I had one of the greatest coach on Alvin Goporo. They helped me out,
Yeah.
But when I was in high school, I was like, man, I'm not speaking English, man. I'm getting buckets and I'm going home. I'm pro. So I was not even thinking about going to college. I was like, man, F college. I'm going home. I'm going to be pro, and I will play home.
Oh, really?
At home, and I'll play pro. And it was like, no, you have to learn how to speak English, because one of your dreams is to go to UF, you will go there. So that's when I started. But my freshman year, I didn't even speak English though.
Wow. So then you went from Puerto Rico to Florida Air.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know you won 2 state championships, right? At Florida, and undefeated both those seasons, right?
Yeah, I'm a Hall of Famer.
You what?
I'm a Hall of Famer.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
The only experience I have against Florida Air is when I played against Will Uget in the regional finals, and he's still salty that we beat him. They were up by 6. They were up by 6 with like 2 minutes left, and we came back and won in overtime. But how did you end up at Florida Air?
My team was tough, man. My team was tough. I remember, like my first year we had a great team. My sophomore year, we had a great team. I had King Holland on my team, Andre King Holland. For me, he was one of the best, shooting guards in the state of Florida. And then I played with a 6'5" Mario Prikevicius from Lithuania. Okay. Like this, like he was in high school, but you can see like he is a pro,
Yeah.
And I had Sasha Count. But my junior and my senior year, we had a bunch of guys, they came new, they experienced like a new transition. And I told them, I said, listen, these guys, they look athletic, but if we move the ball and we make them guard, we will beat everybody by 20, So, you come to the gym and you see these athletic guys, dunking in warm-ups.
Yep.
Later, like, I mean, like, don't worry about this. We will move the ball, we will play good defense, and we will beat them by 20. And every game we did that, So after a while, there was like, man, we're beating everybody. We don't care. We come to the gym like we're beating everybody. So it was a good, cool experience. But at the same time, it's like we grind it out and, we help each other.
Well, you just said you didn't really speak English till your freshman year. So how did you communicate in high school with these other guys?
Hey,
buckets, universal language.
Me, man. I come to the gym like, yo, I got a story with Vernon. We played them in an AAU tournament. And I'm, if you're in the States and you American and you getting bucket, you talk shit. Like you get bucket, like you can guard me or whatever, and I'm getting bucket, I'm quiet. I get my shot, I run back, I play defense. And Vernon was like, man, what's going on with this guy, man? Like he got it's dumb. He's like, what's going on with him? Like he's not talking shit, like he's not saying anything, he got no emotions. He just getting straight bucket, he's killing us. I'd be like, Vern, I didn't know what to tell you, man.
I can let your game speak.
I can say some shit in Spanish, but like what I would tell you, what I'm saying? So I mean, for me, it was a cool experience. Like, and when I was in high school, like I understood most of the stuff, but I couldn't speak. I was scared, on saying something wrong, and I
Yeah.
wasn't scared. So like when a black guy talked to me, I understand most of the time. When a white kid talked to me, I was like, what he's saying? Like I couldn't understand. So after a while with my coach, my coach he's African, so I understood everything that he said, because he got the accent. He speak a little bit slow. So for me, it was like how I can, find my rhythm, and I started meeting other people and trying to talk to other people, watch
Yeah.
movies. Music helped me a lot.
Right.
But
Will said he actually would he carried around a little dictionary every now and then, and yeah, I mean it's there's fear when you like trying to learn a new language, but you got to mess up. I mean that's part of it.
like after a while, I didn't care. I say whatever, and they, because the thing is, when you're young, like if you say something wrong, your boys like, man, you don't say it like that, man, you dumb. So for me, I didn't want that because I would slap somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, so I was like, man, I stay quiet, but I got a little girlfriend. She helped me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's how I learned. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. So let's transition. So you have a spectacular career at Florida Air Academy. Well, what was let me ask you this first. What was your dream and hope coming out of Puerto Rico? Did you know exactly like where you wanted to go, what you aspired to be, going what college you wanted to go to? Was that all ingrained in your mind, or that was just like each year you're like, oh snap, dang, I'm really good. It's dang, I'm starting to get recruited by everybody. Dang, okay, I really got a chance to do something with basketball.
My freshman year in high school, we played with the Florida Gators uniform, and we was doing the press. Our coach bring the press of Florida, so I was like, I can dig this. Like I like this, but I was 5'7", 120.
Soaking wet.
So I was telling my boys, like, man, I like the way Florida play. I'm going to Florida, man. People was like, man, you're too small, man. Like, shut up. So now I moved to Florida Air. I grew a little bit. I mean, maybe when I got to Florida Air, I was like 5'9", 5'10". And I started, drinking proteins and stuff. And, I came to school just to get better education, to learn English, and just to prove that I can play in another league. Is something different than Puerto Rico. And my dad gave me that challenge. I would pay you for school so you can go and do your thing. If you're good, like you think you are, like you have to prove it.
Yeah.
So I went to Air, and I mean, for me, it was a great experience. I learned how to play the American way. And when I started getting, letters and all that stuff, when Florida came, I was like, this is where I want to go. Like, I didn't care about anybody else. Like, I was like, if Billy Donovan come here, like, I'm going. Like, I don't care, what I was doing. So when I went to school, like, I knew everything, like every step, about the press, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. Like, I knew everything, because I did it my freshman year in high school. And of course, I like Kansas. Auburn was like one of the schools that recruited, like it was crazy. Like they wanted me, I was going to 37 minutes and, they was going to give me the ball. But in Florida, I didn't have even playing time. Like coach said, like, listen, I can bring you. I cannot promise you anything. I was like, you don't have to promise me anything. I would earn everything,
Yeah.
And that's how I did it. But my dream was to go to Florida, man, since ninth grade.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, what I loved about Coach Donovan, man, even in my recruiting process, he was a straight shooter. He was like, you seem, for me, I came after you, so it was more like, hey man, you see what I done, like I can come help you get better. I'm not gonna guarantee you're not gonna just walk into this and start. You can earn it. You can come with humility. I'm gonna coach you hard, And that's what he did. And it took me, everyone's got their own journey and process of, especially when it comes to maturing. There's a lot of poison that you can get in your head when you're this highly recruited person. And everyone's telling you how great you are and what you can do and comparing you to all these other players. So Coach Donovan he gave me a whole pie of humility. And it took me a while to take it, bite by bite. But, when Coach Donovan started recruiting you, obviously he was straight shooting you straight as far as your role and earning and et cetera. What was he like during that recruiting process? And then when you got to school, did you see any differences from there to when you got to school?
He'd be like, hey, you know what? Listen. No, like for me, he was like, it was between me and Divendorf, and I went to school, and I guess like the guys liked the way I talked to them, and I was a humble kid, with a lot of drive that I want to win. And coach, he told me like, listen, I'm not promising you playing time. Maybe you would play 10 to 5 to maybe not even play.
Mm-hmm.
Horford and Green, we got Anthony Robertson. Then when Robertson decided to go, it was only like me and Taurean. But I was like in the transition of point guard and shooting guard still. So like in college, it's a different level, like to bring the ball, like you got pressure the whole time. So my freshman year, I couldn't handle that pressure on that point, But at the end, I came from high school, I was a scorer, So now I'm coming to a team that like I have to play defense, like if I want to play, I have to play defense. So that transition, it was like, for me to be in the floor, I have to play D. So I put my mind on forget about offense.
Yeah.
And for 4 years, I forgot about offense. It was all straight defense, So, the situation with coach, it was like when I got there, like they want you, they want you, like we want you. But when you get there, it's like, you have to work for everything, my friend. Like you have to work for everything. So I mean, for me, I understood the what the team needed at the time, and I didn't focus on like I have to do great so I can go to the next level. Like for me, it was like if this is what coach want me to do, this is what I will do.
Yeah.
Like some kids go, with expectations or like I have to score 20 or have to play 25 minutes, and I experienced this in school, with all the guys. And I was like, I told coach, I said, like, you will never see my dad here, telling you like my son have to play 25 minutes, or like my son have to get some touches. Like you will never see my dad here doing that, At the end of the day, I will do whatever you tell me to do. If you want me to punch this guy, I will go punch this. So at the end of the day, like, I'm a team player, and I will do what my team need me to do,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can have these aspirations and stuff. Anybody can, but it's like at the end of the day, if you can't do what the coach is asking you to do, what he said, like you ain't gonna get on the court if you can't, do scouting or be in your rotations, defense, whatever it may be. And it's awesome that you were able to, get that understanding right away, because a lot of guys really struggle with that. Like, dang, coach ain't doing this, he ain't doing this, he don't. Can you get out? Can you break a screen? Can you rebound? Can you box out? Can you run the floor? Can you just do these? Because if you can show your value in doing those, especially defensively, that's gonna keep you on the court. And if you stay on the court, you're gonna get more opportunities to do other things. But obviously, you come into a freshman team or your freshman year, and you're with obviously, we go back two special teams, comprised of great players. You and yourself. You didn't get a chance to really see those guys when they came, Joakim, Al, Taurean, when they were transitioning to that level of greatness. Like you kind of got, walked right into where they finally started clicking.
Yeah.
Did you as a freshman realize like, dang, this is like top level basketball. Like these guys are really special. This team is really special. Or were you just like, oh, this is just how, college is? Was there a point where you're like, dang, like I really am in a situation where I see a great team and a great coach right in front of me?
I knew about coach. I knew about coach. He was a great coach. But Joakim played. Everybody talk about Joakim like he's so great. but Joakim played 5 minutes the year before,
Yeah.
And Horford played like 15 minutes. The only guy that was like in that level was Corey. Like he was doing McDonald's All-American. He played like, I don't know, 28 minutes, 30 minutes. And our best player was Taurean, So everybody talk about these guys that like because they went to the NBA, but our best player was Taurean. Like Taurean was the get us going. Like he scored a couple threes and then assists and he got us going, and he was the one that took all the shots too.
Yep.
But I think like in the preseason, man, like we make each other better, And me as a freshman, I was coming, and my situation was like I have to put pressure on Taurean, or like I have to guard Lee Humphrey every day, like just to get them better, And we used to fight, and these 5 guys was great, but we had Chris Richard, Adrian Moss, and David Huertas and myself, every day fighting with these guys to make them better. And I think like as a team, the complementary of practice, the way we practice, and the way the coach prepare us, man. Like we started 17-0, and nobody gave us. I think we was like ranked like 70,
Wow.
At the beginning. Like nobody give us a chance to make the tournament, and we started 17-0, and after that, like it was like Joakim Noah #1 in the draft, and but Joakim, Allen, Corey, and Taurean, like they grinded every single night. Like we practiced during the day, at night they used to come back to the gym and play one-on-one, and everything was a challenge. In our team, everything was a challenge, like and it was not an envy of okay, Taurean shoot all the balls, or like like it never felt like that vibe. And of course we joke around, how we joke around, like Joakim, you got a house, you got a bed in coach house, because you can do whatever, and I can do that, But at the end of the day, we make each other better, and it was not that envy, like we was like we want to win, and we believe that we can win a championship, We can believe that we can be a great team, and we can complement each other. And if we play hard every single night, we have the best chance to win every game. And that's how we win in every tournament.
Yeah, I mean it definitely reflected that. That's crazy. You guys were ranked not even in the top 50 coming into that season. Do you have like a favorite story from one of those guys, or with Coach Donovan within that any of your 4 years, but specifically within your first 2 when you're with that 06 and 07 teams that went back to back?
Man, I can tell you, I would say this in the record, for me, it was one of the craziest. We in the banquet, the Final Four banquet, George Mason was the Cinderella. Like they beat everybody. Like they had a great tournament. UCLA, team with tradition or whatever. So they doing interviews, and they say like, UCLA, they win 11 championship, blah, blah, blah. And me, I didn't speak English that well, but I'm cocky on the way they're like, man, this championship was long time ago, man. When was the last time they win it, And these people, said like, how dumb, you are, like, you're talking about, our championships and that and in the 50s and the 70s, So the whole banquet was about George Mason and UCLA. So coach was mad, like they talking about these 2 teams, So the guy from George Mason, the coach from George Mason was like, my family's coming from Iraq, my son is in the military, I'm excited to see my grandson for the first time, So we in the pregame, coach is doing, he's saying his stuff, he put the videos, for motivation. And at the end, he just kicked the ball and he'd be like, man, F this grandson, Yo, I was so hyped for this game. I was like, man, we need to kill this thing, because the whole thing, it was all about George Mason and UCLA, and we just need like a little spark of coach saying something, or coach putting a video. Coach in the top Elite 8, he brings Ric Flair, to the locker room. Like, he turned the lights, we put the video, and Ric Flair walk in the middle.
Oh, Ric Flair?
Ric Flair in the locker room. So like the stuff that he was doing to prepare us and get us ready, man, for me, like this guy as a motivational guy is the best. Like he get us ready for everything. Like you didn't understand like the vibe of the team when coach to do stuff like that, man. It was crazy. But that particular moment was for me was amazing. For me it was amazing.
A lot of people don't get to see that side of Coach Donovan. I mean, that's the side of him in the locker. They get to see, his X's and O's and politically correct. But when he's fired up, man, when he's fired up or when he's ready to get on somebody, man, he lets you know. I remember like my favorite thing he would always say when we were beating somebody, but like we start letting them come back. He's like, "Step on their throats. You've got to want to step on their throats." Like, oh, coach, we up by 25. It's 4 minutes left. Like,
he be wilding though. Like we played I think my junior year we played Auburn, and Auburn was playing really good. So they talking. They be like, we the new sheriff in town. So they play us. They all white out. So coach went to the back. He got a white shirt with the police hat. And the thing, when the police hit the people and stuff, he'd be like, man, F this, man. We're the fucking new sheriff in town. We will whoop this mother. Hey, I was dying. Like the stuff that he was doing, man, for me was amazing, man. Like that, if you don't get high with that, like I don't know what else you can do.
All right. Well, I know you got a great, story with regarding some of your former teammates. Joakim is known as an eccentric guy. I know I've heard some stories on and off the court. Always, his heart's always in a great place. He just comes from a different background and sometimes expresses himself in different ways. I know you probably had some experience being your teammate for 2 years.
Man, Joakim, I was with Joakim probably like a month and a half ago here in Puerto Rico. He came to visit with his family. Me and Joe, we understand each other, we kind of the same, but Joe, like he used to be late for everything. Joe used to be late for everything. So, he used to get in trouble. Like coach bring him at 6 a.m, and for him, he liked that, like I'm doing extra work, like I'd be late. I don't care, like that, until coach was like, okay, you will continue being late. Like I would bring everybody, So now I'm in this 5 a.m. I'd be like, Joe, I'm supposed to be home sleeping. And because you want to be late, I'm here. Like, nah, we're not doing that, So Joe was like, nah, man, we getting extra work, like, I'm like, nah, that's cool. Keep doing your extra work, but I'm not working up at 5 a.m. We can do extra work after, but not 5, So, me and Joe, we used to get classes together. Like we got maybe 1 or 2 electives together, So I had a better grade than him, He'd be like, man, how come you got a better grade than me? Like, you don't even speak English, you know what I'm saying? I'd be like, Joe, I'm a smarter, man.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I go do my work, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't let people, help me, You probably, I was like, maybe the person that helped you, he's dumb, I go with the smart people, you know what I'm saying? I do my work with smart people, So, we used to go back and forth, but, we got great relation, like we still talk until this day. And, like Joakim, Al, Corey, Taurean, I had the chance to talk to Lee Humphrey now when I went back. But, I always keep connection with these guys because, when we were in school, we help each other a lot. We help each other a lot.
I heard that, I don't know who told me this. Maybe it was Duke, that maybe your freshman, sophomore year, maybe it's probably your freshman year, that you and Al would be speaking Spanish sometimes on the court. And Coach Donovan was like, hey, ain't none of that Spanish on the court when you out here speaking English.
You have to speak English because Coach think like, you're talking about him. I'd be like, Coach, we're doing some stuff over here that like nobody knows, you know what I'm saying? Like either I'll go back door or like if this guy will turn, I will come and steal the ball, So like we was, helping each other and, he speak English and Spanish, so he was helping me. Like he told me in Spanish, like maybe something I didn't understand in English. So for me, it was like really great to have Al, and Al is a smart guy, and it was fun,
Yeah, that's what's up.
And then we have David Huertas. Like David, me and David, we didn't speak English. You know what I'm saying? Like we was two kids from Puerto Rico, grinding, fighting every day. But our English, it was tough for us.
Man, I can only imagine just that transition. I know you had gotten married in college.
Yeah.
How was that? I mean, obviously you had your high school, or I guess you say high school childhood sweetheart, and then getting separated. You're like, man, I can't do this alone, baby. I need you.
Yeah,
so
man,
going
it
ahead and
was
doing
tough.
that, and what went into that, decision to go ahead and getting married, and how was like being married in college?
I mean, it was tough though. It was tough for me. I want to be close to my daughter. Like I was going to have a baby coming up in college. And for me it was important to enjoy that together.
Yeah.
And after we won the first championship, I was like, nah, I need my family with me, because before she used to come every 2 months, 3 months. And of course, I had fun when I was going to parties and stuff, but for me, I'm a family oriented, like I can have fun with my wife, you know what I'm saying? I can go out and we can do it together. Like we in college, like we 2 kids, So for me, it was important to be with my family, to be close to my daughter. And I think Coach Shai and Coach Donovan, like they helped me out on trying to get a family housing and all that stuff. And for me, it was great, because I can get focused on just school, basketball, and family. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have a lot of time to just do wild out and and of course my freshman year I had the time to wild out and go out and do different stuff. But after a while, like it was like, nah, like I want to do my stuff and just stay with the family.
Yeah, man, I definitely get that. Many times for me, I'm not married yet, but I just remember, coming home after a game or after practice, like, dang, it'd be nice to share this experience, or come home with somebody that I know love me and care, and they don't see me as a basketball player; they see me as me completely. And
exactly.
I can only imagine that just kept you going and kept you recharged and all that
and you
stuff.
you come home, you got food, like it's
that good food.
It's just love. Yeah, that good food, exactly. Like home. And for me, one of the best experiences just to win a championship and have my daughter there, man. Like for me, that was like until this day, I talked to my daughter, and she was 1 year old, after we won the second championship, and I had the chance to like hold her, and celebrate with her. Like for me, that was like the best experience ever,
Yeah.
And I showed her pictures and stuff, and she was like, wow, like I'm a champion too,
Yep. She sure is.
So for me, that's like one of the best experiences I ever experienced. And I want to have kids early so they can see my journey,
Yeah.
I see that with my dad. I was part of every step of my dad, So I want to have that too. And now 2 more years I can go to the club with my daughter, I can be out, and show her like the ropes. Like you see, like this guy, you see this guy, what he tried to do, you have to be careful with this, So for me, this is like something that, I think, thank to God, like every petition that I have from my heart, like I have it, Like I went to the school that I wanted to go. I live from basketball. This is something that I want to do since I was little. And I want, like I always say, like I want kids early, I didn't know how early it was going to be, but I always say, like I want kids, so they can enjoy like my process. And, I had the chance to have that. And I mean, it has been great.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, through your journey, you just continue to cultivate your dreams and your passion and just making it happen. And of course, you had great support around you, and you want to create that for your kids as well. Like, and I tell everybody, I'm like, I wish everybody could get a chance to, growing up, to experience other cultures and go around the world, and being able to. I feel like for sure you've already given your kids a great advantage of being able to see that all around and get to see you living your passion and your dreams at the same time. So whatever they're going to want to do, of course, you're going to be the biggest fan helping them continue to cultivate whatever passion they want to go into as well. That's awesome, man.
Man, it's crazy. Like I was in Poland for 3 years, and my daughter, she learned Polish. Like she was like, she was second grade, first grade, and she learned Polish. And we was going to the supermarket, and I'm trying to say something. She'd be like, "Nah, Dad, you don't say it like that. It's like this." So in the meantime, my daughter, like when we was in college, we speak Spanish in the house, but everything that she watched was in English. So she learned English with Dora the Explorer and all that stuff,
Yeah.
Shout out to Dora. She saved me a lot of money. I spent a lot of money on Dora though, but she teaches her how to speak English, So it was something cool that, she learned English, through cartoons and stuff. And then we went to Poland. She learned Polish,
Wow.
So like for 3 years she was there, school, whatever. So it was really cool. Then now she speak French. She's taking French. So like she's like I'm happy of the baby that I make with her mom. She's very smart. But I think because of the culture, like I'll take her here. We went to Paris. She went crazy. She saw the tower, so she'd be like, I want to learn French because if I travel, I want to be able to talk and
Yeah.
So for me, that's very important. She was in Italy too. I took her to Milan. Trying to see her, like show her like different stuff, and I'm very proud of that.
Love Milan.
Yeah, Milan. I still have an apartment in Milan, boy.
What, you still got an apartment up there?
I still have an apartment in Milan, boy.
What?
Yes, sir.
Bro, hey, man.
Milan. I was in Cantu. I was in Cantu for like 8 months. And the following year, I was like, I'm renting an apartment here. I would keep this apartment, and I'm trying to buy this apartment. So hopefully this year I can finish paying it off.
Yeah, that's love. So if I might need to go up there in a few weeks. So
yes, sir.
fly the boy the keys. So after winning that first championship, what were your expectation level? You're coming to your sophomore year. Were you surprised that those guys decided to come back for one?
I was surprised, because Joakim was going to be the #1 draft pick, and for me it was like you have to take this because you never know, But they decided to come back, and I knew if they was coming back, it was going to be crazy.
Yeah,
because the level that we work every day, and when you finish, we was like, we want some more, like we want more, And I think these guys understood that, and they buy on what coach was telling them, like I mean, you can be great, like NBA would be there. Yeah, you would make it. But if you win one more, you would be legends.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think these guys understood that, and we came back and we was more hungry, like Like we didn't have to practice 2 hours like before. Maybe we practiced like 40-45 minutes because the base of the team came back. And then, we got Maurice Pace, Dan Warner, Jonathan Mitchell, and Brandon Powell. So these 4 guys came, and, they was picking everything, fast, And, man, for me, that experience, like coming back, the swag that we had, and the swag that was going to games, and now we're talking, like now we're not 70, we're #1. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the way we intimidate teams, just on the way we talk, on the way we were so confident of each other, because I knew if somebody beat me, I was going to be there helping, and I know the next rotation. So we was confident of this, and we had one of the best defenders was Corey. Like Corey was locking people up. Yeah. So, like we go to the second banquet, man, we acting stupid. Like, like we acting stupid. We were like, yeah, we here. You know what I'm saying? I think this kid from UCLA, shooting guard, great player. I forgot his name. Aaron Afalo. Yeah. He made an interview before we get there, like he's still, salty about, losing against us, blah, 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 blah. Like, he's going to come ready for the next game. And we get to the banquet, I'll be like, man, you're not doing shit. Bro, you're not doing anything, you know? So Cody started talking to him like, nah, I would lock that up. Like, you're not doing anything, bro. Like, it would not be different from the first game. So I'd be like, man, you will let that man talk to you like that, bro. Like you will let that happen, man. And some kid from the bench came and he was like, man, F you, man, blah, blah. I said, man, I don't know who are you, bro. You're not even in the scouting report, so shut up. This is grown man situation right here. So like all these things, like we got teams going crazy, you know what I'm saying? And bro, the kid scored like 4 points, you know, the whole game.
What was there, because there from my junior year to my senior year, we knew how great of a defense that we had. And I think a lot of teams can achieve greatness once. A lot of teams to maintain greatness, to maintain that level, it's kind of hard because human nature sets in sometimes of oh, we got to figure it out. Oh, this and that. Was there ever a moment, because we struggled at the beginning of my senior year because we kind of were like, okay, we're just gonna walk into being great again because we did it before. It's almost like that complacency started to kick in. So a lot of it had to be like, hey, it doesn't matter what you did. Like, you have to lay that foundation each and every day still. Like, we don't have to practice for 2 hours. You guys get it. Come in here, focused, an hour and a half tops.
Yeah.
Get your work done. Put in intentional effort towards getting better. 1% better. Great reps. Control what you can control on defense. Was there ever a moment that you guys kind of had a little bit of slippage at that beginning of the year? Or y'all just stepped, y'all like, we got it. Like, we got it. Like, we know what we need to do.
Both years before the SEC tournament, it was terrible. We lost 2 or 3 games in a row, And then soon we get to the tournament, we make a meeting. We say what we have to say. We complain what we have to complain. Coach tell you, F you, this, blah, 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 blah. And we get to the tournament, it's business time. You know what I'm saying? And both years we did the same thing. Like, we lost in the first year, we lost, I think, 3 games in a row. We had a crazy meeting. Then we came back. We won. We didn't lose after that. Like we won these 3 or 4 games for the SEC tournament, and then we went to the tournament. And the rest was history. And and the second year was the same. But starting off the second year, coach bring as a motivational speaker, I think Dr. Edwards something, and he put like a ball, like a ball in the top. He drew a mountain and he put the ball in the top, So he was like, "This is you guys, you win the championship. You in the top, So why you think that ball? Where that ball have to be, So everybody be like, shit, in the top, like with the champs. He'd be like, nah, you have to bring that shit down. You know what I'm saying? And climb that mountain again with that ball.
Yeah.
And in that moment, we was like, we need to work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we was a team that we was smart. Like, we didn't believe on not working. We believe on every day we have to work, and every day we have to do something just to become great. And I think these guys understood that, and they never went on his head like, I'm too good or I'm too nice, because Joakim, he's a crazy dude. Like, he's not like, on that. And when he was in Chicago, he never felt like he was better than anybody else. All the same thing, So this is the guys that they will work every day. They will show that they belong in this league, and they show it. And Taurean, for me, like, he was our motto. Like, the way he played, that's the way we will, function. And Taurean did a great job through these 2 years.
I mean, you guys had that bond was so tight that it was more so like, I don't want to let my guys down.
Exactly.
It's not about, me trying to score. It's like, I'm going to play hard out because I love these guys and I know how hard they work. And I'm not, the accountability, they're going to hold me accountable, but I'm also going to hold myself accountable because I say I love them. I say I want to win. So I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up for these guys every day. And you guys obviously did that. So once after winning that second championship, you obviously know that you're coming into a role where you're going to be the guy. It's your time to step up and be, that motor, that engine, use the things that you learned from playing a more off the bench role, supporting the team. What was your mindset going into that junior and senior year? Because things were different. You're a lot of guys left, teams changed. Not only is it your time to step up, and become the guy. It's a lot of other guys' opportunity as well. And what was that like transitioning?
For me, I was like, man, it's my time to shine. I will shoot everything. No, sir.
I will shoot everything.
Now I have more, like, like coach was like, listen, like you will guard all the best players in the team because, like I was the only one coming from this, defensive oriented team, like all these guys are new. So I have to guard Shane Foster, 6'7", Joey Mix, tough, Devon Downey. Like I have to guard all the best players, Chris Lofton. So every night I have to, hey, Doug, lay down, yeah. So I have to grind it every day, just on defense, So of course I have more. Like I started, like I was the leader of the team, like I was the voice of experience, and of course, like I have little, plays, but I didn't have a play for me, it was not like the team was going to run through me and stuff like that. So I accept that for 2 years, that my last 2 years, just to guard the best player and grind, and still when I finished school, I was the leading scorer. The most wins in school history. For me, that was more important than score 20 and 30, because I see a lot of guys that had great careers in college, and when they transition to pro, they're not that good. I was the other way. When I finished college, I went out to IMG to work out, and people was like, but I didn't know that you can do this. I was like, listen, I went to a school that they gave me a role, and I accept my role the whole 4 years. It was just playing defense and grind and be the leader. My last 2 years just on the defensive end. But at the end of the day, I can score. I can do a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, I got a chance when I was getting recruited to come see you guys. I mean, I saw you on TV plenty of times, but come seeing you in person, I was like, man, this dude plays so hard. Like both sides of the court. I'm like, man, this dude, when he's out there, he is a energizer bunny around everywhere. I got a chance to see you when I was getting recruited. I'm like, man, this dude plays so hard. And I was like, so some of your supporting cast at the time didn't match your effort or didn't get it. So I was just like, it still is amazing and a testament to you having that winning factor to you. Yeah. I couldn't find it. I know you played 151 games at Florida.
I think you passed me, huh?
No, maybe in total games played, but you got us on wins and winning percentage for sure.
Okay.
What is it, 120?
Something like that.
Something like that. You got to know.
I mean, like I'm getting old now, but I win a lot of games. I win a lot of games, though.
I mean, yeah, and that's no, transitioning now again to your professional career. There's no surprise that you've been able to have such longevity because that winning factor. What you did for your team in Poland. So people don't know, and I didn't know that you had your number got retired. That's big time,
bro. So, like
that's crazy.
For me, this is big. Like this is like the biggest. Like I told the guys, the thing is, like I went to Poland. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about the league. I didn't even know my team moved from the second division to the first division. Like I didn't know that. So first interview, I told the team, I'm coming here to win the championship. Like I'm not coming here to do nothing less. And everybody looking at me like this kid is crazy. They have a team here named Procom that they have win for 11 years in a row. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, the first year, the goal of the team was like not to drop down. So we finished 9th, and this team was happy. Like they was happy. We didn't make playoff, and we won the top spot on the playouts, and they was happy. I was salty because I want to win. Like I want to make at least playoff. They was happy. Like, they offered me another year. So I'd be like, this guy's offered me one more year. We didn't even make playoff, but I played really good. I was nominated for the MVP of the league, whatever. Second year, we had a, decent team. We finished third. And this team was made of just to make the playoff. We finished third. So, in Europe, they do top three, they get medals, So we qualified for the following year to go to the Euro Cup. So I told the team, like, listen, if you want me back, I didn't have anything to prove more in the league. I won the MVP of the league. I was, MVP of the All-Star game. So I was like, it's time to move on. And I was like, okay, if you want me back, you have to give me $500,000, man, for 2 years, and I come back. I know they didn't have the money. They made me a video, come back, stay home, Walter, like something crazy. I showed my wife at the time. I was like, yo, listen, like, look at this video, man. Like, I need to go back. Like,
yeah.
So they find out, they got the money. They finally got the money. I was like, okay, I'm coming back, We played Euro Cup. I was the leading scorer of the Euro Cup. We qualified for the second round, so it was something big. And then we won the championship. So when we in the finals, a guy from the city told me, like, if you win the championship, because the team, we had a little better team, but it was not a team to win the championship. If you win the championship, I will retire your jersey. I was like, wow. Word? I was like, word? Like, you would retire? Like, they were like, nobody can use your jersey because I know you're leaving after this year. Because in the middle of the season, like, Milan is coming, Laboral is coming, like, Panathinaikos is coming. So, like, everybody's, like, calling, like, who is this kid? We want him, like, they willing to pay a lot of money. And my team was like, nah, he's staying. We won the championship with him, So we finally win the championship. This guy retired my jersey. And, I'm a living legend in this city, Like, I went 2 years ago to do, 1-day camp. It was, like, 150 kids, with my number, like, wow. Kids that I used to hold when they was young. Now they, big. And, I played basketball because of you. You was my inspiration. Like, I used number 15 because of you. Like, I mean, for me, it's just crazy.
Wow, man. That's incredible, man. What was it like winning that championship? I can only imagine, like, the celebration and just the amount of love.
Man, like, the city was, like, it's something, like, when you can believe something, like, like we really did it. I mean, and I play with amazing player, Quinton Huxley, from New York. Like, he's my dog, and I have two guys from Serbia that they help a lot, And I think, like, the compliment for me winning the championship, it was something similar to when I went in Florida, But now I'm the bad boy. I'm Batman now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yep.
So for me, it was amazing winning this for the city, and after this team become the next Procom. We went from, like, 2 years, transition for 3 years winning the championship, just to be the best team now in Poland. So for me being part of this, it was amazing. Now, like, after me, like, people want to come now.
Yeah.
Like, when I left, I told the team, like, I got Irvin Walker, like, he's a great kid coming up. So Irvin came, So for me, like, now I'm bringing people, like, and the city's small, so nobody want to come. Like, the Polish guys don't even want to come to the city. So now we're champions. So now everybody want to come.
Yeah, I said when I was in Israel in Ganer, man, that's it. Nice, peaceful place to live. Very peaceful. In the middle of nowhere. I was like, man, I can't do this for a whole 10 months, man. We're in the desert. Hey, I don't know how the guys are still doing it there, man. Like, that's the one time, like, if you play video games, that's when you really got to find something.
Yeah, exactly.
What was, like, the biggest, you've been all around through your career professionally, what was your biggest culture shock? Or, like, a story that you have, or something you completely didn't expect when you got there? Like, dang, that's different. That's wild.
Man, Saudi Arabia, man. Saudi, like, you can go out with shorts, like, I got a bunch of tattoos. Like, people look at you like, yo, like, and it's a culture, like, it's a Muslim, like, I understand, like, the barriers of the language, of the situations, but for me, I'm in a place, and a guy told me, like, you wearing shorts, like, this for babies,
Wow.
I'll be like, listen, the rules changed now. Now you can use shorts, but for me, like, for this guy to come and say something, like, you know, he feels some kind of way, you know. So after that, I was like, you know, I'm coming always like, you know, we in the desert, 100 and something outside, and you have to wear long pants because, you know, you never know how somebody will act, you know, and tell you something. So for me, that was crazy. For me, that was crazy.
As a grown man, he's like, hey man, why you wearing shorts?
Yeah.
Like,
and then he tried to be like, you're wearing shorts, like that's for babies, you know, like babies can do this here, like not you, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, listen, I'm Christian. I just came here to play basketball, and I respect your religion, but you know, now they changed, the rules changed, so now I can wear shorts, you know. So, and I didn't want to be rude, and you know, like sometimes like you get something like that, you can be, you know, overprotective, whatever, but I'll try to be nice and, you know, explain.
Yeah. So speaking on that, you know, how has your faith throughout your whole process of your whole career continue to inspire you and strengthen you? Because obviously, you know, no one's career life is linear and goes exactly the way that they want it to. And for me, it's hard for me to, in the trials that I faced, to go through adversity and trials without having that hope and faith in God, just to reframe and get myself, put the spiritual lenses on and refocus on the things that actually matter. You know, being able to cultivate that gratitude, because I can be like, oh man, I wish I had this, I wish I had that. It's like, hold on a second. Like, I've been blessed with A, B, C, waking up this morning, waking up, sight, health, body, the opportunity to play. And I saw one of your quotes in one of the articles before this, that people would kill to be in the position that we are in. So how would you continue to cultivate your faith, and that being such an important part of your life journey?
Like I told you before, man, like every petition that I have in my heart, I think God gave it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everything is coincidence, you know? Like, I think for me, it just, like, I'm not the most religion guy. Like, you know, like I respect God. I you know, like that's the only thing that I scared about.
Yeah.
And I understand some people don't believe, some people, you know, but for me, it's just faith and the way I grew up, you know. I grew up going to church and seeing a lot of miracles, you know. So for me, I always, you know, and from time to time I forget, you know, like I go crazy, you know, like I forget this, and when I come home and I got my time, I say, like, you know, sorry if I disrespect you in any kind of way, or if I did something wrong, and maybe I don't know if I will do something wrong in the future. So I always pray for that, like, you know. And of course, we're not perfect. I will do some stuff that probably is not good, but at the end of the day, just if you realize when you do something wrong and ask for forgiveness, it would be great, you know.
Yeah.
And I think I'll live on that.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. For me as well, you know, just continue to cultivate that gratitude. And I don't think it's, even when we mess up, because everybody messes up.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not about us trying to balance out goods and bads, of, because when will we ever know that we've done good enough?
Exactly.
I don't think we're supposed to live in a perpetual guilt and operate out of guilt and shame, but just the grace of God of, like, you know, I've been blessed with this, I've been forgiven. How can I go on and bring my light, that this new renewed light in my soul, to the world? How can I bring that good energy? And what you've been blessed with, how can you continue to impact other people with your life? Because who knows, the people in Poland, on average, or wherever you are, no one else is going to meet at Walter Hodge. So when in their one interaction or whatever it is with Walter Hodge, how can you leave an impact with each person with whatever values that you have?
And for me, like, you know, like sometimes like kids come and they be like, yo, you're so great. They're like, you know, like, what you think? I'll be like, man, this talent, God gave me this talent, because of course I work out, I do stuff, but if I work more, I'll probably be in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? I think like the talent that I got is just pure talent from God. And I tell this to kids, because sometimes kids believe like, oh my God, LeBron is so great, but this talent, God gave him this, you know. So at the end of the day, I want to the kids to understand that, like, you know, through God you get all these talents, or you get, you know, all these blessings. And for me, this is very special, and I tell them every time, like, this talent I got it because of God. And for me, it's just to talk to the next guy and sign this autograph. Maybe, sometimes you finish the game, you're tired, you want to go home. I don't do that, because maybe a kid pay a ticket to come see me and he's probably from hour away. I would probably make his day, or maybe somebody's feeling bad and I say something and, he's changed his mind of what he's thinking, So
Right.
I always think about,
you never know.
Maybe I can change somebody's life of saying something. Maybe somebody want to go home and kill himself because he feel lonely or something. And something that I say in this conversation will change his mentality,
Absolutely.
And I can say, like, in 2018, I had my worst year, as a person, like I'm getting divorced, fighting with the mom and all my kids, everything tried, like it was a lot of things going on. Like they want me to put me in jail, but that was my best year. I won 2 championships. I won the championship in Lebanon. I was the MVP in Lebanon. I came home. I went. The league didn't want to let me play because I have a trial. I have to do this. I finished all the situation. I played in the league. I destroyed the league. I was the MVP. We won the championship. I was the MVP of the finals. So all this situation was going on in my life, but I stayed focused and poised on what was my goal of winning championship and just destroy everything.
Yeah. Well, man, I got to tell you, you're an inspiration. It's always a pleasure and an honor to talk and see somebody still living their passion through trials or whatever they continue pushing on and pushing on. I'm going to leave this with one more question. You said you want at least 4 or 5 more years, right?
Yes, sir.
What is the plan as of now once you finish up? What's Walter Hodge post basketball going to look like?
Well, you remember Coach Lanier, right?
Yeah, of course. I love Coach Lanier.
Coach told me after my senior year, he was like, "Well, you don't retire and come and be my assistant. Nobody will give you that type of money. I said, Coach, listen, I want to play for a little bit. If it's not good, I know you give me a job. You know what I'm saying? So after I find my job, I told Coach, listen, I'm making $550. You're not going to give me that as assistant coach starting. So, but as soon as I retire, I will call you. I want to be assistant coach,
Okay.
But now, now I'm working with my ex-coach, trying to be an agent. I like that. I like that situation.
Yeah.
I would like to help kids, get on their dreams. And I was part of this. So I see every process, with when the market was perfect, when the market is bad. And I would not lie to the kids, So I want to do that. I probably want to be an agent. I got a lot of connections, I got a lot of calls like, can you help me get here? Can you help me get there? So it's something that can be, and for sure, like my dream is to have a school in Puerto Rico, with the travel and all that stuff, like basketball school. So that's my long-term goal. But soon I retire, I would like to be a coach or agent.
Well, with everything that you've accomplished, it wouldn't be a surprise that you do everything that you just said. Whatever you set your mind to, it seems as though you're able to work your butt off and make it happen. Definitely with, being an agent, I can, you can create, who knows how many Walter Hodges you can help.
Exactly.
And continue to do great. The goal is for them to do greater things than you, or,
Exactly. That's my goal. And something, sorry to
no, you're good.
To call you. For me, like the experience that I want to do with the players that I will, try to get, like now I'm getting players right now and my coach is working with them. But my situation is like just to teach them, because if you're American and you come to Europe, the game is different. So if you don't adapt quick, you will get sent home quick. So I don't want that. I want the guys to get to the level that they understand basketball in Europe so well that they be like, yo, I'm staying here, and every year bring the guys for at least a month, have a training camp, stay with the family. They can bring the family and stay in one place in Europe, because at the end of the day, Europe is cheap, you can have hotels and stuff in good prices, and you can come with the family. So that's something that I want to work and for sure, I think I can do something good with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, it's tough when you're overseas for so long But knowing that you have that support system, and then also, you know, my career, especially going overseas, could have been drastically different if someone was like, "This is what you can expect. This is what you can do. This is where look for these things. This is how you're going to need to prepare for practice." You know, the player development isn't as good over there, so you're going to have to, you know, this and that, and
do it on your own.
Yeah. So some, you know, if I would have known all these things going in, it could have completely changed my experience. And you know, I think some guys just get so caught up in NBA. It's like, hold on, you can have a fantastic life experience, and teams pay for everything over there pretty much.
Man, so. I have 3 cars, man. I got a house. I mean, you know, like everything I did it in Europe, you know. And of course, my dream was to go to the NBA. And if I was coming from college, nobody would think like I can go to the NBA because I didn't have a great college career as a like, you know, scoring or whatever. I have the most win games in school history, you know, and I was part of 2 national championships. But when I finished college, you know, the transition was great for me. In 2013, I had the chance to go to a Knicks vet camp, but I signed a 1.2 million for 2 years in Spain. So for me, it was like either I will go get 400 and they take a half, or I'll go get my million over there. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was
guaranteed
like
money net of taxes, dog.
Exactly.
Well, Walt, it's been an honor having you, man. I'm not sure what you got going on the rest of today.
I got practice right now, dog.
Got practice, bro. It's been an honor. Thank you so much for your time. Continue doing what you're doing. Let's stay connected. I can't wait to get a chance to see you in person. I think it's been over 10 years since I've seen you in person.
For real, though.
But we're going to make it happen when the season's over. Good luck with everything you got going on with the national team, and we'll be in touch, brother.
I appreciate that. Take care.
Yes, sir. All right, my guy.
Peace.
And that was it. That was the episode with Walter Hodge. So awesome getting to see him still living his passion and his dreams. Awesome for me to get a chance to catch up with him as well and share it with the world. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Continue to give us these great reviews. It's so humbling for me to hear the kind words that everyone has to say. Just out here, just trying to do something new, this new chapter. Please continue to share, review, subscribe to this podcast, as well as the Field of 68 Media Network. Any suggestions, any helpful tips that you have for me, please let me know. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. You can find the Field of 68 Media Network on Instagram and Twitter as well. Without further ado, going into the next episode, thank you guys again. Gator Nation, stay rowdy.